Now we've started.
Now we've started. Welcome to Bedlam. We are a place of I can't remember. I
Good
can't
start.
remember.
Do you want me to help you along the way?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a state of chaos and confusion.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Yeah, anyway,
yeah.
we are
Two
full
two
of chaos.
episodes. 2 episodes in.
We are full of chaos and confusion. You can say that we've not written a script for this one, so at least you can
Not a
see that
word.
we are going off the cuff.
Not a word.
Yeah. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today?
Well, today I wanted to, thanks to everything that's going on, I wanted to sort of focus on I always do this like I'm some sort of politician. As I want to focus on
You
the
shall
thing.
stay at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Hands, face, space.
No, I want to do a bit of a check because I think the first episode was funny, weren't we?
I don't know. I've not watched it back. I mean,
Bullshit.
I think that's probably why we've got 20 views on it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just us. It's just us watching it over and over again. I use it
Yeah.
to fall asleep to the soothing tones of
13,000
myself.
listens on Spotify.
Yeah. Um, no, I wanted to do a bit more of a serious one, a bit more of a check-in. So I'll kick us off. Uh, Tom, how are you?
I'm all right this week. I think. I mean, I've had a decent week actually, to be fair. Week off from work. Not been too bad. Nearly forgot to take my antidepressants last night, so that would have been wonderful for today.
You'd have
But yeah,
thought that with a week off from work, we'd have done a lot more than what we've done, but I'll get to it in my how are you? But continue.
to be fair, right, I've done quite a lot, I think. I've cleaned my desk space. I've left everything else. I've vacuumed the floor because you could start to see where I walk and where I don't walk because of the dust patterns. Um, yeah, went out for a nice little catch up with a friend that used to work at the hotel with me. Went out to the theatre last night
Ooh.
to watch something called Cirque the Greatest Show. I don't think it was the greatest show, but it was decent.
Was it good at least? The good show?
Yeah, we're all right. I mean, the interval came on, and I turned to the person that I was with, and I said, "Do you reckon this is worth £40 a ticket?" And they replied back with, "Well, I think it's probably only worth £20 to say that I've only watched half of the show."
Well, true, true. I was going to say those are the things that you probably say at the end rather than
Yeah.
just the middle.
And then obviously today is podcast filming, and then we've got, and then I'm off to a steam traction rally in the amazing weather that is outside. So
You know what? This is the perfect weather for that sort of shit.
not at all, not at all.
Perfect weather. Perfect.
I'm gonna be knee deep in mud. I'm gonna have my welly boots on. I can't remember if they leak or not. I don't think they do, because the last time that I was wearing my welly boots, I was in the middle of the Lake District, stood in a lake with them. So I don't think they did. So I think
If
I'm
no
good.
water got in, then I think you're all right.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, I think it's been
Unless you
about
just
two or
slowly
3 years.
started to sink
Mm.
just into the thing.
I I probably will, with the amount of weight that's top heavy as well as it's probably gonna just sink quicker than usual.
Sink you down, drop you down right into the deep, and then you're gonna get run over by a steam train or something.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to work because they are quite heavy, so I don't think they're going to. They might not be able to move on the mud.
This is not where I thought this would go early doors. I've got to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, how are you?
You know what? Right, I'm setting this out in the tone of how I want this. Oh, it's really pretentious to call this a space, isn't it?
You're a
Oh,
bit
this
pretentious.
is our space. Oh, this is our space. No, I'm not.
Mm.
I'm just a bit. Yeah, like I really, really struggle to just get motivated to do this week, especially just do anything.
I mean, you're quite busy yesterday. We didn't get to film the podcast yesterday, which I wanted to do.
Yeah, but it was all like home based stuff.
Home base, didn't they go bust?
Yeah. Wasn't at a garden centre. it's more like getting out of bed has been a challenge this week.
Oh, I love my bed.
But it's not even that because normally like I can get up and do shit and whatever. But it's just like, oh, I just want to pull the covers over my head and not talk to anyone forever.
To be fair, that was me the other week. That's all I wanted to do. Just don't want to get out of bed and like look at the time and just there going, right, it's back to bed now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know. I just struggle to get up to do anything, even like normal stuff. Like I need to go to the shop and buy something to eat, and I've just been like, nah, I'll just give it a miss.
I think it's that whole thing of like, you've got things that you enjoy doing, and then you've got things that you have to do but don't have any ratification for it, and then you've got the things that you have to do that you do have ratification for,
Hmm.
such as like, I don't know, you can put shopping into one category. You don't have to go shopping because if you don't go shopping, you're not necessarily gonna feel any crap from it because if you've still got food in the fridge, then you're all right.
Yeah.
And then you've got your other category where it's paying bills and stuff like that, where if you don't pay that, then you're a bit fucked. And then you've got the things that you like doing, such as, I don't know, football or playing football manager or whatever.
Uh,
And
I'm
that,
gonna say that the miss of football has been seriously felt in my life up to
yeah,
now.
we are slowly getting back into it though, because it is pre-season, and I think you've got a little bit to do. So, which is
Yeah, exactly. That's been good. That's the one thing that I've been able to like get up and be asked to do is like, oh, I've got to go here today and do this. I've got to go there today and do this for football. I'm like, yeah, decent. And I've had like some job interviews and positive feedback from jobs and stuff. So that's helped me to be like, oh, actually, I'm not entirely shit at everything that I do.
yeah.
That's good. But I wrote a thing a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about like within what I do, people like all through uni and stuff and outside of uni say that the work that I've done and the writing that I do for politics and football and things is really good and people read it and really enjoy it. And I will write it and be like, oh well, that's terrible. Oh, it's all terrible. I'm really not good at this and things like that. And I'm just like, I don't know how I reached that conclusion with the amount of like positive feedback that surrounds the stuff that I do, but I just do. It's really weird.
No, but what you do right is really good. Like, and that's not me being biased because you're my best mate.
I
Like,
know, and it's nice to hear it, but it's difficult to try and convince myself that that's true. You know what I mean?
I think it's like kind of the same with me as well. It's like in one sort of aspect, I know that I'm really good at my job.
Hmm.
Then in another thing is, I feel like I'm really shit at my job, and I just don't get anything from it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's like it sort of mixes into stuff like I suppose you call it imposter syndrome, where like the stuff that I've done and like the really good stuff that I've done. So I'll give you an example. Is like when I did my first big like football match when I got I tell you what, I'll do the Gaelic football final, the first one I ever did. There's a crowd of 80,000 people. There's like Sky Sports, BBC, all doing like broadcasts from the same place that I am. And all in my head was just like, you're not good enough to be here. How have you got this, you absolute chancer?
Yeah, I suppose in a way, like with it being because it was your first big gig, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like it sort of happened so fast as well as you've sort of like not had that build up to it. You've not done like smaller sort of games or whatever they call Gaelic football.
Hmm.
You've not done smaller sort of stuff. And you've literally like been thrown in at the deep end and you did quite a good job.
Well, eh. But yeah, it's strange. But that's the sort of thing that I've been going with this week. But it's fine. Next week's another week. Tomorrow's another day. We go
You
again.
got any plans for next week?
Next week, I have my graduation, so that'll be good.
Hey,
Have a graduation on Tuesday, um, and in the really boring Monday, I'm trying to get Wednesday off work so that I can go out and get pissed on Tuesday. Um, yeah, Really sorry, really sorry to cut across this, but I've just received an email from the people who I had the interview with this week that I've told you about that I will not disclose on this platform. I think they've invited me for a second interview.
Fuck off.
So
Dude, that's mad.
okay,
If you get that job, fuck
fuck.
it. Oh God, dude,
Okay, I'll do that after. I'll do that after. But that is positive news.
that's amazing.
Live. That is live positive news on pod. Live.
That's brilliant. I'm really glad you told me before because if you hadn't have said anything, then I would have been like, "What's this?" And I would have been have to wait until the end of the podcast for you to say so. So I'm glad that I know.
Yeah, I
Wow,
told you before, but yeah, we'll the interviewee. No, I'm the interviewee. The interviewer shall remain nameless for now, but maybe all will be revealed.
yeah, they'll do an
Maybe.
exclusive. They'll do, yeah.
Oh yeah, could do a full exclusive.
You get my message this morning when I said Clark about Clark
Oh
and
yeah.
saying when he has his boxing fight with unnamed person that he was going to use as the commentators
Yes,
because he really enjoyed last week's podcast.
absolutely. Let's do that. I'm well up
I
for
wouldn't.
that.
I wonder if he's going to be like on a week long. So I won't message him. I won't say anything. I'll see how long it takes him to message me to say, "Oh, thanks for the shout out." Yeah,
Yeah. Shout out to who?
yeah.
Go on. I
Um,
can't remember the
Ch-
name. Yeah.
Charles
Charles.
Clark.
Charles Clark.
Yeah,
Is
go on,
remind me of
Clarky.
the football club again. Is it QPR?
Yes.
QPR terrorist legend.
I'm glad he's not banned from football no more.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see that justice has been restored in the football world.
Yeah, he's back in there, the back of the terrace,
Back on the
shouting abuse
terraces
at the
of
QPR
Loftus Road, shouting abuse at everybody.
because QPR is shite.
Oh, we're in no position to say that, considering the football team that we support drew
I
0-0 with
mean,
a step 10 Cornish football team.
we did win 9-0 on Monday.
And then drew 0-0 the next day to arguably worse opposition.
No, to be fair, it could be worse. Crystal Palace lost to Barnet 1-0.
Oh, we're fine then. No, we're all right. No, we're
I
fine.
watched it. I watched it. It was
Oh,
the goal was
you that
fucking fire.
are you that desperate for football?
Yeah. This is the time of year where I start betting on Irish football because I'm bored.
Oh, stick a bet on Danny Grant going back to Bose. There you go. You heard it here first. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is where at the end of the podcast it's been confirmed. And
Yeah,
knows
this
to
is my
put that bet
second
on.
bit of breaking news.
I've just won $2,000.
Speaking of breaking news,
Yeah.
I feel like we need to address the shitstorm that's turned into a mental health shitstorm this week about broadcast legend Hugh Edwards.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on Hugh Edwards? And don't say he's like his neck or something.
Where do I stand on him or where do I stand on the news that's broken?
On the whole issue.
Right. Hugh Edwards, love him. Absolutely fantastic broadcaster. He's been there so long that he is the voice of the BBC. And I'm one of those people that will watch all the royal events every year or every so many years whenever they occur, and he's always the voice of it, and he always knows what he's talking about, and you can trust that what he says is the truth.
Mm.
But we talk about the sun again, and not that big, massive orange blob in space that heats everything up. We talk about the sun, and if you've got the evidence there, you'd submit it and not just come out and go, oh, yeah, well, this has happened, which then allows a big, massive spiral to come out that says, oh, yeah, well, he's done this and he's done that and he's done this and he's done that. Where yeah, okay, like the Philip Schofield stuff, it's morally wrong,
Yeah.
but he shouldn't have done it in the first place. And yeah, I'm getting a phone call.
Oh, well, who's it from? Is it important? Do we have to?
Possibly so.
Okay, okay, we'll pause. So
Sorry,
about Tom's phone call, it just derailed the whole podcast, but it's fine. It's
sorry.
fine.
That was a very important phone call that I needed to take. So,
So, whoops.
oh well, these things you can say that are live anyway. Anyway, where were we?
Anyway, back to Hugh.
Yeah, no, I just think the whole like if you've got something to say, then put it out there. Don't just
Yeah,
like hold back on it. And yeah, okay, fair enough. They might have given the evidence over to the BBC or to the police now, but they found no criminality in the first place. So then why cause big, massive uproar over the whole fact of this presenter is known for having mental health issues in the past to then cause yet another person to suffer gratefully in the public eye with mental health issues to then realize that he needs to check himself into a mental health hospital to make sure that he's not going to do nothing stupid.
yeah. I think it's a real sort of turning, or it should be a turning point for the whole sort of journalism industry. Obviously coming at this from a different perspective to you, I think that there's a lot of things that happen within journalism that is sort of not brushed under the rug, but like hush hush sort of thing. So essentially, what the Sun have done here is they've printed this story on the assurances of the parents,
Yeah,
right? And those have turned out to be false. Now, some would say that that's the fault of the parents for providing the false information. For example, the first story that broke in the Sun was that an unnamed BBC presenter paid for nude images of a 17-year-old.
yeah.
That has since been proved to be entirely false. The person involved, we don't know their age. We know they're a teenager, but they could well be 18, 19. They are
Yeah.
not 17. Definitively, they are not. They don't have a set age because nobody knows it. Yet the Sun printed they were a 17-year-old.
But it also seems like from the other allegations that he hasn't gone as low as that. And the whole factor is stuck around the 20 to 22 age. So, which could possibly mean that they were 18, 19, which
Yeah.
goes with the whole other allegations that have come out.
And it's like you take away the criminality away from this, which is what the police have done. There's no evidence of any criminal activity. And what are you left with? A man's private life.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having a private life. Everybody is entitled to one. What you get up to in your private life is just that, private.
Yeah.
As long as it isn't illegal, that there should be no public outcry about anything
I think
like
it's
that.
just like that thing of the Sun trying to stay relevant all over again.
Well, that's it. It's always been tabloid journalism, and I understand that there is a good place for it in this country, and that they will say that they're holding the powerful to account, and I understand that, and I accept that that's their job, and I accept that a lot of people read it and a lot of people enjoy it. That is fine,
Yeah.
right? But holding the powerful to account only works if the story that you're breaking you can prove and is 100% watertight, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're holding somebody to something that they haven't done, which is going to get read by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And well, look what's happened. The man had to be sectioned by his own wife.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't like bringing a name up into it because of it, but Caroline Flack, and it's the whole Caroline Flack thing all over again with the whole fact of nothing was proven that she'd done anything wrong. Yeah, okay, they brought a criminal case up against her, but you're innocent until proven guilty.
Mm.
So, you know, the police might have a little bit of evidence there to basically turn around and say, yes, okay, you've done this and you've done that. But then the jury and the courts might see it differently.
Yeah.
And if you do get slapped with something, then it just be a slap on the wrist. But then it's just the whole fact of the constant pressure from the media and everything like that. You don't know what anyone's mental state of mind is. So you might be targeting that person that is as a previous prior occasions tried to commit suicide
Mm.
and failed on many attempts, and you've come out in the public eye because you're one of those people that everyone loves, and you feel like you've let everyone down. You've got probably a little bit of imposter syndrome to feel that, well, I don't want to, I don't feel like I should be here, sort of thing.
Mm.
Um, and then the whole pressures again is just adding up, and the inevitable happens.
Exactly. And like the problem with it is, and you look at like the Caroline Flack thing as well, because it's a newspaper, right? And because these things are published by different journalists, probably three or four working on the same story, they're okayed by a sub editor, then they're okayed by the editor. And I suspect a story like this would have had to go to the owners of the newspaper, and
Yeah,
they'll ask whether they can do it. But that's five or six different people there, right, that can be implicated in this story. And if anything did happen that did happen with Caroline Flack, if Hugh Edwards did kill himself, God forbid, who is directly responsible for that? There's nobody. There's five or six different people that it's gone through. There's no one person that you can definitively point the finger to.
yeah. I just
Now
think it's that
that's
whole
not
thing of
even like,
like
yeah, go on.
trying to. I don't even know because you wouldn't even be able to bring a manslaughter case up against her or anything.
No, there's nothing because that in a way is is really good defense for the newspaper, but it's also just how it works.
Yeah.
And in how it works, you've accidentally got a really good defense against things like this.
It's just like when are the Sun and media and journalists that are probably just starting up thinking, oh my God, I've got a right tasty story here and I
Mm.
want to write about it and this and that, blah, blah, blah. When they're going to realize that you're affecting someone's mental health and
Mm.
you're affecting that person, you're not just breaking a story, you're breaking someone's life
Yeah,
by doing it. And if that person's done wrong, then that person's done wrong and you should give them the time to be able to come out and say, right, yeah, it's me, rather than saying, oh yeah, well, this is a man that works for the BBC. He earns over £430,000 a year. It didn't help that BBC released the figures on Tuesday morning as
no,
well, because then you could find out and figure out who it was from the people that have turned around already and said it's not me, to the people that have gone silent on social media, and then you going, yeah, it's Hugh Edwards.
yeah, and I think there was a lot of when there's no information, it sort of creates a vacuum, and because of the culture that we live in, that pigeonhole is sort of immediately filled with pigeon by
Mm.
social media.
But then doesn't there sort of need to be an NDA there then?
I can see why the people would think that there should be, but then where do you stop with it? Because there can be NDAs on pretty much every news story that comes out then, and
I think in this sort of in this story, I think it should have been one of the things of that the Sun put an NDA on it. They'd gone to the family and said, right, we are going to run this piece, but we need to go by the person in question to start off with.
mm,
And then you put the question to the person and you say, this has come to light. We're going to run this story. Have you got a comment on it? And then if that person turns around and says, well, this is my side of the story,
mm,
then you've got two sides of the story straight away. And you can allow people then to make their own judgment for it. Or you can then say, or like say, I don't know, um, counselors for example. It's like if I said something to my counselor that meant that my life was in danger or someone else's life was in danger, or I'd done anything criminal, in our conversations, then she had to raise it to the police. If someone comes to you with something that could possibly be criminal, like with the son, and like with the parents of this child or teenager, then they should go to the police and then say, well, this has come to light. And then the police, if they've investigated it, then can turn around and say, no, we've investigated it and there's no criminal offence there.
Hmm.
Then you're finding everything out before, then you put it into public eye. And then a week later, everything's gone off of all the news articles and everyone's acting like nothing happened.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what's happened. I'm conscious that the recording is telling me that we've got 3 minutes left.
I think we should stop and come back.
I think we should as well. Let's call it a break. Let's say we're going for a break.
This interval, this is a monkey.
Yay! Did you enjoy the break?
I did.
I had a
Did you?
wonderful break. Yeah, I had a wonderful break. Yeah,
Fantastic. I'm very
really good, really good. And now I had such a good break that I can't remember where we were. So I'm gonna spin off complete. Oh, Hugh Edwards, yeah. Um, love and power to Hugh from all the boys at Bedlam. Unless he has done criminal acts, in which case he should be
At the
killed.
time of recording, he hasn't. So yeah, I hope that he does get better. I hope he gets himself into a better place because that's all everyone wants to be. And that when he does come out, that he can publicly, turn around and say that obviously he's not done anything wrong.
He has said he will do. Once he's sorted himself out, he said that he's going to tell the world what's gone on.
Perfect. Fantastic.
So that something to look forward to. So speaking of looking forward, I want to sort of round this episode off on just a light note, focusing on positivity.
A light note. What's that? An A minor.
Oh. Obscure musical reference, but I'll allow it. Play on. Um, what are you doing next week?
Back to work. And then next Sunday we are off to the ice hockey. It's the wrong colours, but yeah,
Yeah, it's Leeds colours, isn't it? I'm not a fan of that.
the right colours are blue and white.
Correct.
As I was saying to Callum earlier on, it almost looks identical to my PE uniform at school. So I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have, other than work and now an interview and graduation. Yeah, I've got no plans for next week. Really quiet week.
Your week is filling up nicely, isn't it?
It is in the space of the day, but I'm looking forward to graduation. That'll be good. What won't be good is that I have to be there at 8:30 in the morning because
Oof.
where the first ceremony of the day at 10:30, and you've got to be there 2.5 hours before. Or
Why are
eight
you
o'clock.
not going to Gibraltar?
I know. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I get to put on my cap and my cap and gown, not my cap and gown.
Doff your
Um,
cap.
I'm gonna doff my square sideways square hat.
I best get loads of photos from you.
But well, I've decided not to pay for the proper photographer because it's just a rip off. I'm just gonna get my man to take a
Next week's podcast, that's going to be the photo of you just doing your
graduation
gown.
special.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it won't be such a special because I've not graduated from anything. So,
You graduated from the University of Life.
I mean, I don't think I've got there yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sort of sounds like you've died. I
Yeah.
graduated from the
As I
University of
slowly way
Life.
down. Yeah. Why does it keep going to me in a coffin?
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying anything that
We're
would
not doing
drive the
reference.
conversation in that direction. It's not me. You can't blame me.
We're not going to reference last week's episode. If you didn't listen, then links in the description.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
were you?
Yeah. Why haven't you? Also, how have you found this one if you haven't listened to that one?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I must have been doing a good job then if you've managed to find this episode.
Yeah, because I've done nothing.
No, you haven't.
No, I'll do it this week. I'll do it this week.
The CEO has to pay you. They're not paying you just to sit there and talk shit.
Listen, our dear great CEO will come through, right, with the cash. Yeah.
You
He
can hold
slash
them
she,
hostage.
he slash she knows what's going on here.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, we don't know the identity of the CEO because that's just how business works.
Yeah. It just, yeah. We just get money from unnamed source.
Just bank accounts in different countries, just sending us money tax free.
For anyone that's asking in advance, no, it wasn't £35,000.
No, it wasn't for OnlyFans.
No, no, I
And
didn't have
no,
to get my cock out.
no, I'm not a newsreader. Thank you for joining us on today's News at 10.
Oh Jesus,
Disgraced
no, we
myself. I've
can't.
disgraced myself.
You can't. You're not going to get a job in media no more.
I've disgraced myself and the podcast that I represent and the CEO that podcast represents also. I'm very sorry
The
to
CEO's not going to be happy.
I'm very sorry to you. I'm very sorry to our faceless CEO.
The CEO is going to have to
Um,
put out a media newspaper thing in the Sun to
I'm
say
very
unnamed presenter of Bedlam.
I think that'd be quite easy to work out considering there's only two.
Yeah, it's not me.
Well, it's not me, so it's got to be you.
Well, it's not because I didn't say it.
I didn't say anything.
Does that say recording in the top left? Oh yeah, it does.
No, no, it
We
doesn't.
have evidence.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ruined. I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm ruined.
Oh
Okay,
Jesus.
okay, okay. Well, I think that's a good place to my professional downfall is a good place to end this episode.
Yeah. Meet us next week where I'll be joined by a new presenter.
Who will be standing in for me whilst I check in to the local mental health facilities.
Yeah, because you've been suspended.
Oh, have I just been suspended by you? Have you just suspended me?
If I suspend you, this episode's not going to go out. I suppose we'll find out if this episode drops later on today. We'll find out if Callum has been suspended from Bedlam.
Somehow doubt he will keep in a job.
Yeah, I think you are actually.
Yeah.
You've got the
Okay.
CEO wrapped around your little finger.
I do. It's true.
I
It's true.
don't.
I mean, I don't know them, but somehow I've got them
I
wrapped around my little finger.
I just try and keep giving them compliments every now and then.
Yeah, no, it's working. It's working.
And just like this unnamed person likes my comments on Facebook as well.
Yeah. No, it's working.
Yeah.
You're building that profile right up,
And anything I tag you in on Facebook,
straight there.
this unnamed source
Unnamed
likes it.
CEO that we have.
It just
Yeah,
loves it straight away.
straight away.
Yeah.
Love heart reactions or care reactions all over that.
Must he, she,
They
they,
them.
they must have their notifications turned on.
I couldn't possibly know or find out because, as I've reiterated, I have no idea who this person is.
Nope. We have no idea who the CEO is. This is where we have to set up a new Facebook account as CEO of Bedlam and just get that person to then start commenting on stuff so
Or I'll
it
get
doesn't
that
give their
person to.
identity away.
I can get
Because we
that
don't know the
person.
identity.
No, we don't. Obviously, I'll get that person who we don't know to change their Facebook name to that. But obviously, I'd have to find who the person is first and get them to do that because we don't know who.
Hands,
Who
face, space.
oh, yeah, well, who are you? Steak and oven chips.
Before we do go, let me show you something.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not going to
So,
be like inappropriate, is it?
someone amazing has bought me something.
Is it the CEO?
I don't know. The
Oh,
CEO is amazing, but look at this. It's a
wow.
Battenberg Blondie. Should we do a taste test?
Oh, what is this? Oh, that's it's almost sexual actually.
Oh, that is really good.
The worst ASMR segment any podcast has ever seen. Well, I've got about a quarter of a can of Iron Brew left, so
I've got a sponsor. This week's sponsor, right? Last year they sponsored Arsenal Football Club. This year they sponsor Barcelona. Yes, you're right. It is Prime.
Bedlam is not affiliated with Prime in any way, shape, or form, and legal representation will be given if any assertions are made.
I've dropped it all on the floor. Honestly, they've sent
Bedlam do not
me.
affiliate with Prime in any way, shape, or form. The KSI brand or Prime branding is not one. They've not sent you that. You've bought it.
No, they've sent me it. I
No,
have
they
no
haven't.
money. No money has transferred hands to this.
What shop did you buy them in?
I didn't.
Hmm.
I haven't bought them at all. I
What
have.
shop did you steal them from?
I didn't steal him either because that is wrong, and I don't want a criminal case coming against me because I may get suspended from Bedlam.
Once again, Bedlam is not affiliated with Prime or any of its subsidiaries and also does not condone shoplifting in any way, shape, or form. Thank you.
Random tornado 9,000.
Time. Bedlam does not affiliate with any tobacco brand or anything similar and does not promote the use of nicotine-based products for those under the age of 18. Thank you.
Starbucks.
Bedlam is not affiliated with Starbucks or any of its subsidiaries or franchises. It does not promote them in any way, shape, or form and has received no financial recompense for this. Stop!
Molly glass and glazing. I don't know the rest of them, so I don't want to promote them at this time.
For legal reasons, we are not affiliated with anyone, anywhere, ever. Thank you.
Until we actually are sponsored.
For now.
Shout out to Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
And ASOS.
And Acast.
Oh,
Not ASOS. No, ASOS.
Sorry.
Oh, well muddled.
What was his name? I got an email from him yesterday.
Martin.
Yeah, Martin, the Acast.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Let's just. Oh no, I've ruined it. I've ruined the meeting. Oh God, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Help. Help.
Yeah, Martin from Acast. Why is photos different in two different things?
I've ruined everything now. I've ruined the podcast. I don't know how to end it.
His photos, he's got two different photos in his profile.
He's a renegade. He can do what he wants. Leave him alone.
Just get any emails to say so many people are subscribing to YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Right, hold on. Let me just pause this.
Play.
Cool. Right. So I'm gonna round this pod off now and say thank you for listening, everybody.
I'm really interested to find out how that last bit of the recording went. Because it's either you scrambling to figure out how to end the recording or me just there going, Martin's got two photos on his profile.
It's both. It's us talking about Aircast and then me going, oh, I'm getting a phone call, which was from the CEO, by the way.
I thought we didn't know the identity.
No, they rang me on a secret number.
Oh, it's
then
like
like one of them, like one of them voice filters as well. Yeah. Like in documentaries where they're sat with like a silhouette and they can't be named. And
yeah,
that's like that. That's exactly what it was like.
This is really turning out that Hugh Edwards is our CEO, isn't it?
I can categorically state here and now that Hugh Edwards and any affiliates of the BBC have nothing to do with the Bedlam podcast.
No, it's Paddy McGuinness.
Did you see the video he put out, by the way?
Yeah, I got shown it in the chair.
35 grand for a wank.
It's like £1,000 a stroke in my condition. Um, no, I was getting my hair cut yesterday, as you might have told seen.
Yeah,
And
fresh.
yeah, the hairdresser, she literally said, "Have you seen it?" I said no, so she gave me a phone and put it on.
Nice one.
But
Right,
yeah,
well,
well, this has been
that's
a longer than usual episode of Bedlam podcast. We've had some interruptions, but good interruptions.
good interruptions.
Positive
Um,
week for me and Callum next week, and with things going on now. So
well, I started this talking about my fairly negative week that's just turned into quite a good week. So that's
yeah,
derailed the
shit.
whole podcast.
Fuck, we're gonna have to record a new one.
Shit.
Fuck.
Oh, well, right. Thank you for yourself, for your hospitality, and for your hospitality. Feel free to follow on the social medias,
Are
of
you
which,
broken?
well, yeah, I'm feeling particularly broken actually. Yeah. Yeah, follow us on social media. What are the social medias, Tom? Good
Great
test. Well
question.
done. Well done. Good
Yeah,
test. Bedlam
great
Y2
question. Well,
Twitter.
I just want to say a big, massive thank you for you for being here. I want to say a big, massive thank you to all our audience for listening and continuing to listen. Um, yeah, so you can follow us on Facebook. It's Bedlam with Tom and Cal. Instagram, it is Bedlam YT, and YouTube's exactly the same.
Get in. Get in. There we
Yeah.
go. Done. We're out. We're done. We're out. We're out. We're going to get done in one hot second, right? We're out. Bang. Mic drop.